casino executives, do you guys know basic strategy? Come on, I mean really know basic strategy. I know basic strategy is important, especially these floor supervisors and pit managers who have to rate players on the floor. But it's also very important to game protection. You need to know basic strategy so you can pick out those crucial plays that the advantage players and the cheaters use to beat the house. You can't find a mark card play without it. You can't find a whole card play without it. And you're not going to be able to detect the card counter or use basic strategy 4 to 5 hands. So today, let's dig into basic strategy a little bit deeper.
What is basic strategy? Well, quite simply, basic strategy is the optimum way in which a player plays his hands at blackjack. Basic strategy is determined on two things: the number of decks in the game and the rules of the game. Now, armed with this information and a knowledge of basic strategy, the player can determine when to hit or stand, whether to double down, whether to split, or whether to surrender.
Here's a standard basic strategy chart, or what players refer to as the book. The row at the top shows the dealer's up card. The column on the left shows the player's first 2 cards. By looking at the basic strategy matrix, it will tell you the mathematically correct play. There are around 300 plays to memorize, so to make it easier, the chart is color-coded to show hit, stand, double down, split, or surrender. For more information to help you understand and practice basic strategy, check out the following websites.
To support the need for basic strategy, we have 3 following examples. In this first example, we have a player at first base tucking his hand to a dealer's up card of 9. When the hand is revealed, it shows a player has an 8 and a 4 for a 12. The question you should ask yourself is, why did this player tuck his 12? Why didn't he hit following basic strategy? The next example we have is a player who tucks an ace and a 5, a soft 16. Why does he tuck this hand against the dealer's up card of 6? Obviously, he has either top card knowledge or whole card knowledge. In this last example, we have a player who splits 2s against the dealer up card of 2. After taking 10 value cards on both of his split 2s, he elects to hit the third hand, gaining a 5 for a total of 17. Why did this player elect to hit on his second hand and not on his first? This is very characteristic of a card counting play. Here's probably the most important basic strategy tip I can give you. Start off with the proper basic strategy for your casino. Don't do like a lot of other executives did. Just find one and use it. Make sure that it applies to your game, your rules, and the number of decks you use.
A really cool way to determine exactly what the basic strategy in your house is through using software. There's a couple of really good programs out there, but one in particular will take the rules of your game in-house, the conditions, for example, like how many decks are in the game, take that information and generate a basic strategy chart for you all to use. It will also give you exactly what the house edge is on the game. Now, I really like this software because not only does it give you that information, it allows you to play around with the rules a little bit to see which is the best game for your house.
It's very common in the gaming industry right now in the game of blackjack is to have different variations of the game. Some of you have 6 decks, you hit soft 17. Some have single deck with 6 to 5. What I suggest is you start off with a predominant game basic strategy and then make a list of variations to match the other game types.
Floor supervisors, do me a favor. Learn and understand basic strategy. Now remember, you guys are the first line of defense on the floor. If the blackjack player is winning and an assessment needs to be done, if you can just watch his play for a little while and feed that information to surveillance, they'll be able to help the casino make a more informed and accurate decision on the skill level of the player.
One thing I know from being in operations is it's very, very hard for people to learn basic strategy. You just can't expect them to learn through osmosis in the pit. You need to be able to train them, and then you need to be able to test them. And one more thing, it's like anything else. If you don't use it, you'll lose it. Be sure that you do testing from time to time so you keep your personnel sharp.
Basic strategy can be difficult to learn, so here's a little training tip. Take a blank basic strategy chart and get your people to sit down and complete it. This will give you an assessment of where they are at in terms of basic strategy accuracy and speed.